Welcome, everybody. We can start. Welcome for this second call for challenges for the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle Program, speaking from Lugano. Today, we are going to see what is the Innovation Booster Fashion and Lifestyle, first of all, to get into the details on how the program is structured. And then the occasion for today is to present to you and officially open the second call for challenges. So we are going to see the details of the second call. So let me move to the presentation. So first of all, I present to you the Innovation Booster teams. The Innovation Booster program is led by a leading house represented by Dagora Lifestyle Innovation Hub. And our alliance member is the Lifestyle Tech Competence Center. The alliance member helps us on the methodological support and into designing the whole phases of the programs. But this program is promoted and empowered by InnoSwiss. But who is InnoSwiss? InnoSwiss is the Swiss innovation agencies, and its role is to promote science-based innovation for the interest and the growth of the economy and society in Switzerland. And it has two main goals. One is to fund innovation. So there is a lot of instruments available, and this Innovation Booster is one of the instruments that InnoSwiss make available for the industry and the community to make the industries more competitive. And the second one is technological transfer, and therefore academic relations are involved also in this program. And so the Innovation Booster is a funding instrument based on thematic community. Our community is based on fashion and lifestyle, but there are also several other programs on other topics in Switzerland, mobility, energy, blockchain. There are several of them. And today we are speaking about our Innovation Booster program on fashion and lifestyle. And InnoSwiss every 2 years open a call for this program. And we started for this year, for the first year, and we will go on 4 years with 2 iterations per year. So the iterations are represented by what we call the calls for challenges, and then we move into the program. But let's get into some details. So the objective is to capitalize the Swiss and lifestyle Swiss-based community, because in Switzerland, also for the ones that are not aware, there are more, only in Ticino, there are more than 60 companies working in fashion. And so to match this community with experts, with the academic part, and in an open innovation setting, to find new radical solutions, new radical innovations. So we allied with the Switzerland Innovation Park Ticino Lifestyle Tech Competence Center to establish this program, which is structured in different phases. And the ultimate goal of the program is to fund innovative ideas up to 25,000 francs per idea. There is a dedicated jury into evaluating those ideas, and the awarded ideas are to be tested. Of course, this funding is not for the actual development of the idea because it requires much more funding, but it intersect the first part of creation of this radical innovation in order to be tested if the idea can be then implemented in the company and in the market, making the industry more competitive. But it's important also that we base our program on a manifesto of values. And this manifesto is composed mainly by leadership and experimentation, collaboration and openness. As said, this is an open innovation program. Responsibility and sustainability, it's at the core value of our program, but also work ethics, transparency and trust. human and user centricity. Also, this point is very important because user centricity is something that the participation of when we participate into the program, we always need to keep an eye on what is the user, what are the needs of the users, and diversity, inclusion, and gender equality as well. So it's an open program, so everyone is welcome, of course, within the perimeter of the rules set by the program. And this is a top level, the different phases of the program. So we started at the beginning of the year with an industry workshop. Actually, here we see that we did also a sustainability industry workshop, but also on March the 12th, we already had a workshop here in Lugano at our hub on fashion and lifestyle. And the workshop basically was a moment on which we gather representatives of major brands, society, academic in the region to learn what are the challenges afflicting the industry. So what are the main obstacles that would need to be solved in the industry. Then there is the launch of the IB Call for Challenges, and we had the first call opened during our event, Lifestyle Innovation Day, the past April the 22nd, and we are progressing on this first call, and today we are opening the second call. Then after the opening of the call, so after today, you can apply to the IB call. So you can go to a website called Join Create. I will show you later how to do it. And you can apply for the call. Then on October the 10th, and these dates will be communicated in detail. No worry about the details on dates. But we will meet in Lugano for the party interested. And we will work on a workshop to for the ideation phase. So based on those industry challenges submitted, there is an actual work of co-creation of those innovative ideas, putting together different members of the innovation teams to get ready for the pitch day. In this case, it's November the 12th. And there is a dedicated jury to pitch the idea to. And on this call, 5 ideas will be awarded. And then for the ideas awarded, there will be a test, implement, and learn. So learning is the key objective of this program. So learn about this new possibility of ideas, how to implement them, are they feasible, are they possible to make it real. So this is a better, a more detailed calendar of the events. And in yellow, I've highlighted the key moments of this call. And so today we will open the call. On October the 10th, there will be the workshop, which is mandatory to participate to the program because the objective is to really put people together, make them work together to co-create those ideas. And then on October the 29th, there will be a moment called the Innovation Arena. It's an optional moment, but this occasion is made available for the Lifestyle Tech Competence Center as a support to get ready for the pitch day, and so refine the deck, refine the pitch, and get ready to pitch it properly. And then there is the pitch day, of course, and then there is the award in the weeks after. But I would like also to underline that there are trainings throughout the year. So we had a training about generative AI, and there will be other trainings, 2 to 3 trainings still from September on, because also this is important to learn more about the topics we are tackling during this program. We thank, of course, our sponsors. This program is not only financed by InnoSwiss, but also is supported by third parties, and in this case by fashion brands, leading fashion brands, and also investors. So we thank Seven for All Mankind, Alpha Square Invest, Venture and Creation, Group of Florence, Hugo Boss, and Philip Line. And this support can also is also open for the next months and in the next year to make possible to have this program made available for everyone. So it's an integral part of the program. A little bit of detail on who is the pitch jury. So who will evaluate those ideas? So the pitch jury has been composed, putting together experts in research, in business, and in society. And they will evaluate based on a scorecard that you will find also in the call later on. I will show you where you can find what are the criteria on which the pitch jury will evaluate the ideas, and is responsible to award the winning ideas. It's selected by the Innovation Booster teams and is composed by permanent members, but also temporary participants. And as said, includes brands, but also association, investors, and Swiss and international academic representatives to have a very 360 degree representativeness of the industry, but as well the society and the academic side. This is the composition, the current one, the confirmed, also to be confirmed. So we have professors from Swiss universities, we have associations, we have brand representatives. I will send and share the deck later on, so you can get through the details also on the pitch jury composition that you can also find on our website. Self-disclosure, it's important also when if you decide to participate to the program, if an innovation team member, so a participant to the program works directly with the member of the pitch jury, shall disclose it to us to avoid any conflict of interest. And innovation teams. So I already mentioned the innovation teams, but what does it mean, an innovation team? Because an innovation team is mandatory to participate the program. So it's composed by at least one research partner and at least one implementation partner. So the goal is to have two partners who had the potential to make a contribution to develop, improve, and test the ideas. So starting from the research partners, a research partner can include university research institutes, but also non-commercial research centers outside university sector, and other institutions involved in research. For any doubt, you can write to us and understand if you are eligible as a research partner. And of course, the contribute is the process on which research put their knowledge, their research, their capabilities and competencies, also on the methodological point of view, into the team to make possible to test an idea. And the implementation partner, on the other hand, can be national or international, but can be startups, small, medium enterprise, or larger enterprises. Basically, everyone that has a legal entity in Switzerland or also abroad, but special conditions apply, can participate to the program as an implementation partner. Of course, there are some nuances to this point in order that, of course, it can be as a startup, but also it's meant that in the future they need to have the possibility to implement, scale a possible idea. So they can work on an idea, but of course also they have the internal capabilities on delivering on the development of the idea. And what is the output of this funded idea? The output could be a proof of concept, so a concrete test on how concretely the idea can be implemented in the industry, a feasibility study, so can this idea can be actually made, or a market assessment if there is a lack of information about who are the final users, who are the parties involved, what are the trends and the actual expenditures on a certain topic. So also market assessments on different side of the idea where ELEC is localized can be used. But I repeat, because it's important, this program aims to test the implementation of innovative ideas. And the innovation team funding, what happens when an innovation team is awarded? So it passes the evaluation of the pitch jury. So the funds will be transferred to one beneficiary, and then the one beneficiary can allocate the funds within the team as necessary, of course, based on the each party contribution. It can be two parties, so one research, one implementation, and it can be decided to whom get the funding, or they can be also multiple, and so an internal evaluation can be made, and also us as Innovation Booster team can support you into understanding the details also on these details. And so I will skip the details on the distribution, but and I already mentioned it, but also the use of fund. Of course, they need to be actually for the realization, development of the project idea as for the application, and it needs to be documented. For the international partners, if among you there are some international partners interested in this program, the participation is possible, and there are some conditions. So the Innovation Booster will award the actual funds to a Swiss beneficiary, so the international partner will not be directly funded, and at least one implementation partner needs to be also part of the innovation team, because the ultimate goal, of course, is to make a more competitive Swiss fashion and lifestyle sector. And we are talking about innovation, and in particular, we are talking about radical innovation. So what is radical innovation? I think it's worth to have some clarification on the details on what is exactly radical innovation. So radical innovation is a transformative concept that reshapes the landscape of technology, business, and industry. And it represents a paradigm shift, and basically is solving an existing problem in a new way. So it goes beyond incremental improvements or minor modification of existing solutions, but introduce a profound change in the thinking, in the technology, in the business model, in the process. So it's at the base of a change. So it's a profound innovation. And this type of innovation challenges can refine industries, being also disruptive, and can, now we can see. So an example to make it concrete, what could be radical innovation, for instance, we're talking about the fashion industry. And the fashion industry has a certain process in place in terms of manufacturing, in terms of production. So if we imagine a world on we make available through technology, through processes on demand manufacturing, so based on the need of the user, there is no item produced without the actual need and purpose to purchase a certain item. This will be on-demand manufacturing. And you can understand the impact that this could have. So this could be a nice example of radical innovation. On the other hand, incremental innovation, it's product variation, for example. So if we have a certain type of production and we just vary one aspect of the production, this is not radical innovation, it's incremental innovation, and it's not meant to be intended for this kind of program. And disruptive innovation means that it changes the industry, it changes a whole model, business model, in a profound way. So a radical innovation can also be disruptive, but there are two separate adjectives of the same thing. So the ideas criteria. So how the ideas will be evaluated. So what are, we call it the sweet spot of innovation. So there are three areas we care a lot during this program. The first one is desirability. So it's defined as, is it reasonable to think the final users will need or want to use this solution? And also viability, the second point. Does the solution seem worth pursuing and the commercialization business model sustainable? So it's possible to actually implement it as a business model into the market. And feasibility, also from a technical point of view, can be implemented, can be realized, also can be realized without a disproportionate effort in terms of money or resources. So those three areas needs to converge into what is called the sweet spot of innovation. But it's important to start telling you about this because it's very important for the program. But along the program, it will be much more. We will go in deep dive on this. No worries. So thank you for this presentation, and I will move to the actual call for challenges. So what is the topic of today, what we decided to be the topic of this second call. So let me just share the page. Please give me 1 second. So the second call for challenges will be transforming industry practices, sustainability and circularity innovations for the fashion industry. So these will be basically be focused on sustainability and circularity. So the context is that the fashion industry has a global significance, has a significance and presence in everybody's life because it's pervasive, and it's also very competitive. So a lot of players are present, and represents one of the sectors which impacts the most the environment. So we understood and we discussed with the brands that this topic, and of course many of you are working every day on this aspect, that there are needs to be changes to be implemented for making the fashion industry more sustainable. So the classical linear fashion system is take, make, dispose, and also on dispose part there is legislation that is becoming more strict about this. So it's a linear model that doesn't work anymore. So the problem is also regarding the exploitation of natural resources, energy, and pollution in general on all this program. The supply chain, there are several aspects. And so the goal is to tackle the current obstacles and aiming for a sustainable production, but also a sustainable consumption. So the focus, and this is the outcome on what has been discussed and evaluated also from the Innovation Booster team, from the inputs given by the brands during the different workshops. So I said that there was also a deep dive on the sustainability topic recently with the brands. And the first one, and these are only inputs. Of course, you can imagine other aspects and other inputs affecting the industry. But these, we thought they were the most representatives. The first one is poor material and energy efficiencies. So the usage of material, a lot of plastic in the materials, a lot water consumption for the working of those materials, and waste and environmental impact. The second one is production quality, because also the movement is already there. Many companies are experimenting using new sustainable materials, but also the challenge is to actually implement them in an organic way into the production cycle, and also in terms of quality, having the same quality, matching the same quality on non-sustainable materials in terms of resistance, duration of the product, elasticity. So there are many aspects also regarding this. Data and traceability is a very big topic affecting the supply chain, but not only. So in all these topics, there are upstream challenges and downstream challenges, but also data in general is a challenge for many brands for, first of all, establishing a transparent supply chain. We know there are many new implementation getting into place, but it's still challenging to make an effective implementation of those data, but also, first of all, gathering the data. Gathering the data on the same standard is also complex and challenging. The lack of circular design, circularity, is certainly one of the topics that represents this goal. So the industry in general struggles to find and designing product that also can be recycled, repurposed, or can find a second life. There are many innovation that also represented radical innovation, like second-hand markets, so resale on this, but it's certainly not enough. So circularity is a topic on which everybody, every one of us need to still work on. And technological challenges. So in this case, we are looking for also ideas to be explored and understand what could be the hypothesis, a challenge to use technology, but use technology in a quick way, how to implement the also sometimes powerful technologies such as AI, but how to implement it in an effective way, in an impactful way to drive innovation for a more sustainable industry. Regulatory pressures are external factors that are making the implementation on these practices also challenging in some terms, but also reporting needs. It's something that requires a lot of efforts from the companies, and also innovations about how to create a more streamlined reporting could also be an hypothesis. Internal stakeholder pressures, something that many brands confessed us and shared with us, is that also a very priority to put in place is to align the internal stakeholders on the same goal. So that is not sufficient to have a team dedicated to sustainability if the rest of the organization isn't ready to make this change. So also aligning internally and find ways and find innovations on how to distribute these this kind of innovations also internally can be very welcomed. Financial pressures also, because the fashion industry is a private sector. It relies on profit, and so transitioning to sustainable practices requires and involve a lot of investments, a lot of spending in making this possible. On the other hand, it needs to be found a balance on that, a way to be able to implement those practices without or generating sustainable profit for the companies, and also insufficient human capital in terms of skills, re-skills to distribute among the workforce, and also culture inside the companies needs to be built, also cross-organization to make an organic shift towards sustainability. And the lack also on external collaboration, so industry-wide collaboration. I think this is this opportunity of represented by the Innovation Booster is a great opportunity to put different companies together that usually don't cooperate, also with the help of the academic partners that are available to work on the same goal. I think it's a pivotal moment to exploit this opportunity and put our forces together to really make a change, also with the help of InnoSwiss in this case. So consumer-related challenges, I was saying that it's not enough to work on the production, the distribution, the supply chain. It's also a challenge that many brands highlighted, is to how to make the consumer, first of all, aware of the impact that fashion is having on the environment, and we understand that also can be challenging, but there are a few elements involving the consumer which are educational, but also in terms of communication, how to shift the communication, the marketing communication, the corporate communication. Corporate communication perhaps is more ready than marketing communication into a real sustainable culture also for the consumer, and not with a short-term view, but also long-term view, and how to motivate and incentivize consumers choosing or also paying a premium price for a sustainable or a circular product. So this is the base, and take it as an inspiration of the topics and details that can be challenged. So we are looking for radical innovative solutions to be tested. So this is the first input. And these solutions can be developed by the innovation teams, can be products, services, or processes. So it's not limited to one of those areas, but it can include a different variety of innovation. And so what we ask is to, as said, keep a user-centric approach, to use a specific problem, to frame the problem very in detail. And so we listed a series of questions that we asked to be answered during the first industry challenge submitted, because it's important to divide and to explain you what are the different stages. So after this opening of the call, we ask you to submit an industry challenge. An industry challenge is meant to be an hypothesis. So what if for the consumer-related challenges, for instance, what if to incentivize the consumers, we test this kind of the idea. So it's very high level. So at the first stage, we ask to you to be specific, but at high level. So we don't ask the actual idea to be submitted, because the idea will be developed during the workshop and will be developed with the collaboration of the two partners, so the implementation partner and the research partner. It seems complicated, but it's important to understand that the goal is a co-creation of a solution. And those questions to be answered are, what are the details of the problem experienced? Who is experienced the problem? So to understand exactly who is the target of the problem, and how painful is the problem the ones experiencing. Would the ones experiencing the problem will be willing and capable of paying money to get it resolved? So also a sustainable business model can be and needs to be kept in mind. And on the other hand, there are present in the market or somewhere already existing solutions to the problem? And if they are, why aren't they effective? So it's important questions that needs to be answered before getting into the details of a possible radical new idea. And so how a new radical innovative approach might benefit the whole industry in resolving the problem. Also, it's important to seek for a major impact, not only for a specific, perhaps also niche part of the industry or a specific company. Of course, inputs are coming from each company, but it's important to seek solutions that can impact and benefit the whole industry. So what is the benefit? The benefit is to participate in this program on which there is a lot of support in terms of methodology, but also in terms of having the possibility to involve the academic part into supporting with all the researchers, a lot of inputs, a lot of knowledge to these possible ideas, be rewarded with this about 25,000 francs, and to convince this jury to be awarded with that fund to build a POC to realize a feasibility study or market assessment. And we also include market experts whenever is needed by the innovation team. So everything that's needed to have a proper development of a possible idea will be given by the program, and also to participate the events, to trainings, and the mentioned workshops on these innovation topics. So what are the next steps if you are interested into participating in the program? So first of all, the step one is to submit the industry challenge. So posing an hypothesis on how specifically with the new radical solutions the problem might be resolved, answering the questions. Also the questions, we ask you to put it into the long description of the form. I quick jump on this. To submit a challenge, you can click on submit, and you can fill in the mandatory fields, but what we are interested most into is the description of the challenge, and it's the first input, and it's also a way for us to let us know that you would like to participate, and we will help you into matching with the counterpart of your innovation teams. So putting people together, that's our job before the workshop. And then there is the actual participation in the co-creation workshop. It's called Challenge Your Ideas. It's hosted here in Lugano by our d'Agora Lifestyle Innovation Hub. The location also might be changed, but you will be informed, and it will be on October the 10th. There is a link here on the registration. So I remind you, which is the participation to the workshop is mandatory for the awarding of the idea. So an idea cannot be awarded if the idea is not developed in co-creation during the workshop. So I, for the ones interested, I kindly remind you to save the date in your calendar. On our website, there is also the Save Today button with an ICS to put directly into your calendar. And you can copy and paste this link and register at the form for the workshop. So that's very important. We will, of course, remind you during the follow-up newsletter, and the identified challenges for this workshop and from the latest industry workshop. So when we involve the brands, will be explored to understand and to look at the problem in the classical double diamond structure of innovation. So looking at the problem and then seeking a possible solution. And the innovation teams formed will be facilitated, as said, before the workshop to coming to the workshop already matched, let's say. So we will support you to find the best research of implementation partner if you're not already contacted one of them. This platform is also, you can find some researchers on which you can find a lot of researchers and already registered implementation partners that you can contact to explore if they are interested to participate with you for an innovation team. And the collaboration among the different stakeholders and the expert with a design thinking methodology is what we put in place to co-create these new radical solutions. Then after the workshop, the second step is to submit actually the idea. So what will be developed during the workshop needs to be submitted into always here, the same form, the same page, but on the different stage, the information will be more detailed. There will be published in the attachments the guidelines on what is required, but we are always available for any clarification. And the third step, as I mentioned during the presentation before, is to participate at the optional virtual workshop Innovation Arena on October the 29th. And there will be a preparation getting near the pitch day. And then there is the actual pitch day that you can also save the date on November the 12th for the submitted idea. You can have the possibility, if you participated to the workshop and you submitted the idea, to participate to the pitch day and pitch to the jury your idea to get that award of 25,000 francs. So it's important that for the moment we ask for an industry challenge, a top view and hypothesis for the participation and at the workshop, and that you sign up to the workshop, which is important, and we remind you that is mandatory. And also, we kindly ask, and also is important, that we recommend in the publication of the challenge, when there is a privacy policy on private or public, to put it on public first now at this stage, because in this way everyone can see the industry challenge that you published, and in this way they can find you, they can contact you in order to form innovation teams. And I think that in terms of hypothesis, no specific IP is shared at the moment. And then during the idea submission, the actual idea submission, there are definitely the private options to keep and safeguard your IP developed during the workshop or the ideation phase independently from the workshop. So here is reminded who can apply. So startups, small, medium enterprises, large organization, any company offering products, services on process implementation. So also tech companies, non-profit organization, absolutely. Also the NGOs might participate, an association can participate, university and non-commercial research institutes, as well as departmental research institutions and federal research institutes. So also it's important to build these innovation teams, but as said, we will support you. So we will are eager to receive your inputs. We will share in an email the details, the links, the website, everything that you can review after this webinar in terms of informations. And we are waiting for you. Here there are the attachments. Here you can find the scoring card, so the criteria on which the ideas will be evaluated by the pitch jury, and after the workshop also the actual form for the idea submission and the guidelines for the idea submission, which will come, as said, after the workshop, will be also published in the attachments. We did not put it already to not make confusions between this phase of having the challenges submitted now and the idea that still need to be developed. Here you can find the timeline. So today we will open this call. Will be opened until the 26th of October, but mind that the real date before is the 10th of October, when the workshop is mandatory to attend if you would like to participate. And then after the 29th, on which there will be the optional Pitch and Enrich Innovation Arena virtual workshop, there will be the actual pitch day on November the 12th. So I think that I went through every detail. We will share everything, and now I will open the Q&A if you have any questions. Yes, Nicholas, thank you for your hand. The microphones are off for everyone. Please write in the Q&A your questions. Then also Enyada, I see that you also raised your hand. Please write in the Q&A
Hello.
what is your...
Hi. Hi,
Okay.
Daniele. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It's quite interesting, actually. I have a question regarding the partners, the researcher, and the implementation. I'm not very clear on how it's going to work later. So supposedly the idea I selected, I have the idea, I'm participating, then I have these two partners, the researcher and implementation that I'm going to find on the way until October 10th. And then if I want to develop the idea later, like how do you foresee it?
So the steps are that we are helping to put together the implementation partner and the academic partner to participate to the workshop. Then there is a joint participation and work at the workshop to the development and co-creation of ideas, not only within the innovation teams, but also across different teams. And after this part, we encourage, of course, to meet again independently between the two parties to continue this work and to finalize the drafting of the idea to be submitted. Then there is the submission of the idea, the pitch day, and if the idea will be awarded, then with the funds received, there is an agreement between the parties to build a POC. So it needs to be, of course, highlighted beforehand what is the output expected from the idea to be tested. So if needs to be an actual POC or can be a market assessment, feasibility study. So everything needed to test that idea. And the funds will be used for that specific purpose. And once the idea is tested, we will also support the possibility of continuing that idea, because what happens, and I think I'm not sure if that's the question. So what happens next is
Yes.
that yes, so is that that you can agree within the innovation team that an IP is developed, and that idea can be then pitched again to InnoSwiss. So InnoSwiss is available to make available a lot of other instruments that are present within their portfolio of financial instruments to fund and to make that continuation of development of the idea possible. And also the idea validated by the program, validated on every aspect, can be pitched to a private, can be pitched internally to a brand or a company or a tech company. So there are different possibilities.
But
But
then the two people, the researcher and the implementation, that they will be added to my team, they will have to stay in my team because the idea was developed together, or no?
It needs to be within the team as much as the idea is developed within the program. So of course, if you decide to participate within an innovation team in the innovation booster, it needs to be developed from the beginning to the end, especially if it's awarded. But after that, it's not mandatory that
Okay.
either two of the parties or one of the parties will continue to participate in the same idea. Can be also outsourced, sold, etc.
Okay, clear.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's go to Nicholas. I cannot find your question, but if you...
Yeah, no, ciao Daniele. Sorry, very quickly. You showed us a slide with 3 different kinds of innovation. And just to confirm, you're only looking for radical innovation for this project.
Yes, yeah? It's correct. It's correct. Because the fact is that InnoSwiss has also other instruments for ideas already developed. So if you have an idea already validated on with already you have a business model ready, the viability, feasibility, desirability in place, so you can present it already and it's solid. You can go directly to InnoSwiss, and we can also facilitate the contact, of course, but they have other instruments. So here is a step behind that stage on which you need to find new solutions to tackle in a more impactful way the existing issues. So, thank you. And I see also from Stefan, our startup is already working on developing our idea. Can we still apply to join our program to further refine and align our project with industry needs? It's similar. So if you already have an idea and it's well constructed, I will not advise to participate in this program specifically, but as Nicola asked, to ask InnoSwiss if you're eligible for other instruments, like one is called InnoCheck, and there are several others. But if the idea is already developed, it's later in the stage rather than our program. Our program is designed to co-create and let everyone cooperate for the co-creation of a new idea. If you have a technology that helps you into developing a new idea and to have a new perspective, which doesn't apply specifically on that, we might discuss. But in general, we can also see the specifics because the nuances are very slight, but we are available to deep dive on your specific details. Anyone else? I see a question from Gerard saying, thank you for your clear presentation. Who in the end is owning the rights, patents when the idea is extended into commercialization? So IP is an important topic, of course, and a specific topic. And an IP, of course, there are different kind of IPs, but the outcome of the IP created, the foreground IP created during the ideation phase and during this development needs to be agreed by the parties. So when an innovation team is formed, an IP agreement needs to be put in place. And we also received just a couple of weeks ago also a legal framework to help you and support you in the IP management that will be shared in upcoming weeks from our team in order to support you into understanding how to actually put in place in terms of contracts, agreements for the IP generated. But basically, if you're developing an IP together, you should find an agreement on how to reward that IP in the future, based on each party contributions, of course, I imagine. Thank you. Last round of questions, if anyone has something to add, or we are just being right on time and going towards the conclusion. Okay, I don't see any further question. I thank you very much for your presence and interest. We will follow up with a newsletter, and we hope to see you participating to the program. And for any additional question, please send us an email at info@IB. I will write it to you in the chat so you can have it, but we will also include it into the follow-up emails. But if you have any additional question here, we can answer. I see Gabriele, which is typing. Let's wait just for 30 seconds. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Gabriele, for attending. Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you soon. Ciao.